A beautiful morning to you, and thanks for joining us on the show. Yes, the breakfast show still continues with sport, rapid sport highlight, and I am Ijoma Victor. We begin with the NBA this morning, where OG Anunoby scored 28 points as the New York Knicks ended their 52-year trophy drought by beating the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Cup Finals. Now, the London-born forward finished with 5 3-pointers as the Knicks came from 11 points down in the third quarter to win 124 to 113 at a T-Table Arena in Las Vegas. Now, a point guard, Jolan Brusin, who was named the NBA Cup's most valuable player, scored 25 points as the Knicks won the third edition of the mid-season tournament to claim their first silverware since winning the 1973 NBA Finals. Now, San Antonio upset top seed and reigning NBA champions Oklahoma City Thunders in Saturday's semifinals thanks to a superb display by Victor Wembanyama. Now, in the second game, after missing 12 straight matches with a calf injury, he was limited to 18 points and 25 minutes off the bench. 7 Knicks players reached double figures in the point. Karl Anthony Towns claimed 16 points and 11 rebounds, while Mitchell Robinson had 15 rebounds and 2 blocks from the bench. Now, Dylan Harpers led the scoring for the Spurs with 21 points. Victory was the Knicks' 6th in a row and 10th in 11 games, although the final does not account towards the regular season's standing. Now, they are second in the Eastern Conference, and the Spurs are fourth in the West. Okay, we head straight to athletics, where the Confederation of African Athletics has confirmed that the 24th African Senior Athletics Championship will begin on Tuesday, May 12, 2026 in Accra, Ghana, officially setting the date for the continent flagship track and field event. Now, Ghana Athletics announced the confirmation in a statement issued on Wednesday after receiving a formal approval from the Minister for Sport and Recreation and the Confederation of African Athletics, affirming Ghana's status as host of the championship, which will run until Sunday, May 17, 2026. Now, according to the program released by Ghana's athletics, preparations for the championship will begin ahead of the competition with the arrival of CAA administrators and technical officials scheduled for May 8, 2026. Members of the CCA Council are expected to arrive on May 9th, while the council meeting and the arrival of participating team will take place on May 10, 2026. A technical meeting has been fixed for May 11 on the day before the official start of the competition, which will see athletes from across the continent begin contests on May 12. The championship will conclude on May 17, with all teams expected to depart Accra on May 18, 2026. Ghana Athletics also explained that the confirmed dates were agreed in consultation with the Ministry of Sport and Recreation, with consideration given to the academic calendar of the University of Ghana, Legon. Now, the university will be on vacation during the period and is also scheduled to host its own International Student Championship earlier in May. And the Ghana Sport Minister is expected to officially welcome CAA officials, council members, and deliver a keynote address before proceeding. Transition follows into the competition phase. The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Ghana and the CAA is expected to take place on or before January 8, 2026, subject to the availability of the Sport Minister. In addition, the local organizing committee for the Accra 2026 is scheduled to be inaugurated on Thursday, today. The championship is set to bring together the continent's leading athletes and officials with Accra poised to become the center of African athletics when competition gets underway on the 12th of May 2026. And we head straight to the camp of the Super Eagles. Officially, the Eagles have landed in Morocco, and the full house also in the team's camp ahead of the 2025 African Cup of Nations, following the arrival of star striker Victor Osimhen. Osimhen's arrival was confirmed by Super Eagles media officer Promise Efoge. Earlier on Wednesday, Moses Simon arrived the camp from his base in France. This will be Osimhen's third AFCON appearance after making his debut in the tournament at the 2019 edition in Egypt. He missed the 2021 tournament in Cameroon due to injury before helping the Super Eagles to a second place in the 2023 AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire. Meanwhile, with only a few days left before the 2025 African Cup of Nations kickoff, the Super Eagles are yet to officially name the new captain. Now, this follows, the retirement of William Troost-Ekong and Ahmed Musa ahead of the tournament. Troost-Ekong was the first to make his announcement even before the 54-man provisional list was trimmed down to 28. The Al Khaloud defender decided to bow out with ovations loudest. Also on Wednesday, Ahmed Musa also, quelled rumors he could play for Nigeria by confirming his own retirement. Musa remains the highest capped Nigerian footballer with 111 appearances and the only one that has scored in 2 different World Cups. Now, there are speculations that Super Eagles head coach Eric Chell has approved Wilfred Ndidi to be the next Super Eagles captain. Ndidi will be assisted by Moses Simon and Alex Iwobi. Now, it remains to be seen if talisman striker Victor Osimhen will be added to the leadership group. Former Super Eagles striker Odion Ighalo has backed Victor Osimhen to become captain of the team ahead of the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Recall that William Troost-Ekong, who was Super Eagles captain, recently announced his retirement from international football. However, midfielder Wilfred Ndidi has been widely tipped to take up the captaincy role vacated by Troost-Ekong. But Ighalo believes Osimhen is the right player to become captain of the Super Eagles because Eric Chell's team men will listen to him. Okay, we head straight to FIFA. Yes, Nigeria's Super Eagles head coach Eric Chell was notably absent as FIFA released the official list of voters for the 2025 Best FIFA Football Awards. Now, despite extensive Nigerians' involvement across voting and expert panels, Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie was Nigeria's sole nominee across 11 awards category, earning recognition for her performances with Brighton Hove Albion, Paris FC, and Super Falcons. Nigeria, however, featured prominently in the decision-making process as captains, coaches, media representatives, and members of FIFA expert panels. Nnadozie was shortlisted for the Best FIFA Women's Goalkeeper and the Best FIFA Women's 11 following a standout season. She played a decisive role at Paris FC, stunned Paris Saint-Germain in the Coupe de France final, keeping a clean sheet before saving 2 penalties in the shootout. At the international level, she recorded 4 clean sheets in 6 matches as Nigeria defeated Morocco in Rabat to reclaim the Women's African Cup of Nations title. Now, despite those heroics, Nnadozie finished joint last in voting for the Best FIFA Women's 11, with her and 17 others goalkeepers failing to receive a vote in the category won by England's Hannah Hampton. Hampton also claimed the Best FIFA Women's Goalkeeper of the Year, finishing ahead of Spain Catacol. Now, in the men's Best Player category, Super Eagles captain, or probably former captain, William Troost-Ekong voted for Osman Dembele, Achraf Hakimi, and Lamine Yamal, while Nigeria's media representative Oluwashino Akileji selected Dembele, Hakimi, and Mohamed Salah. For the Women's Best Player Award, Super Falcons captain Rashidat Ajibade voted for Temwa Chawinga, Atne Butmati, and Milche Domure. Nigerian's women's head coach Justin Madugu chose Atina Motni, Alicia Russo, and Lucy Bronze, while Oklej voted for Bonimate Russo and Chawinga. Now, in the men's goalkeeper, or probably goalkeeper category, William Chus Ekong, former skipper of the Super Eagles, voted for Gianluigi Donnarumma, Manuel Neuer, and Alison Becker, while Ekeleji selected Donnarumma, Raya, and Couture. For the Women's Goalkeeper Award, Ajibade voted for Nnadozie and Haptin, with Madugu and Ekeleji also naming Nnadozie and Haptin in their ballot. Now, beyond Nigeria, Nnadozie received votes from captain, coaches, and media representatives in 238 countries worldwide that placed her fourth behind Haptin, Spain's Catacol, and Chile's Christine Edler. Now, in the women's coach category, Ajibade and Madugu voted for Rene Stiger, Estonia Bompasta, and Syrian Wagman, while Ekeleji voted for Wigman, Bompastor, and Seb Haynes. For the men's coach award, Chus Ekong and Ekeleji both voted for Luis Enrique, Hansi Flicks, and Annie Slot. Across all categories, Chel was the only Nigerian voter missing, leaving Chus Ekong and Okelej as Nigeria's sole representatives in the men's section. Now, beyond voting, Nigeria were also involved in FIFA's expert panel responsible for shortlisting nominees. Cynthia Uwak served on the panel for the Women's Player, Coach, and Goalkeeper Awards. Yewande Balogun was part of the panel for the FIFA Matter Award for Host Women's Goal. Now, Perpetua Onkwocha contributed to the selection of the best FIFA Women's 11. Sunday Ogochukwu Olise was involved in the shortlisting, the best FIFA Men's 11, while Messi Akide served on the panel for FIFA Fair Play Award. The best FIFA Football Award was held on Tuesday and covered performances between August 11, 2024 and August 2nd, 2025. Voting opened on November 6, 2025 and closed on November 28, 2025. Winners included Botmati as the FIFA Best Women's Player of the Year, Dembele as the FIFA Men's Player of the Year, Haptin as the FIFA Women's Goalkeeper, and Gianluigi Donnarumma as the Best FIFA Men's Goalkeeper. FIFA, well, that's how it is for the award. We now know those that voted, mainly Nigerians. So don't start asking questions. Why is the voting like this? Why is the voting like this? Now, Eric Chell, the coach of Super Eagles, surprisingly not available in that voting process. And you and I will ask ourselves, why? Why is Eric Chell not there? Journalists represented, coaches, captains represented, just like you saw Ajibade for the Super Falcons, and former Super Eagles coach William Chus Ekong. Well, let's see how it goes. Maybe next year, Eric Chell, if he's still the Super Eagles coach, will be available. Now, still with FIFA, ahead of the 2026 World Cup in Canada, USA, and Mexico, the FIFA Council has officially, released the financial breakdown distributed package for the 2026 World Cup, signaling a massive windfall for the competing nations. Now, total contributions will reach $727 million, representing a staggering 50% increase over the figures seen at the 2022 tournament in Qatar. Now, the bulk of this funding, $855 million, is earmarked specifically for prize money. Now, the significant investment reflects the expanded format of the upcoming tournament, which will be co-hosted in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Now, under the new structure, the nations that lift the trophy in 2026 will take home $50 million. Even teams exiting the early stages stands to benefit significantly. Now, as FIFA aimed to ensure the tournament's growth trickles down to the participating members association, in addition to the performance-based prize money, FIFA is providing $1.5 million to every qualified team to cover essential preparations costs. Now, this means that even teams that fail to progress past the group stage are guaranteed a minimum payout of $10.5 million. Now, this financial flows is designed to support smaller associations, probably like Cape Verde, in managing the logistics and training demands for the world's largest sporting event. Now, the 2026 edition will be the first to feature 48 teams, up from the traditional 32, a move that is clearly, mirrored in the organizational expanded financial commitment. The 2026 prize money, here are the breakdown. Champions, $50 million. Runners-up, $33 million. Third place team, $29 million. Fourth place, $27 million. Now, if you get to the quarterfinals, 5th to 8th position, you will get $19 million. If you get to the round of 16, that's from 9th to the 16th position, you go home with $15 million. Round of 32, from 17th to 32nd position, $11 million. Group stage, 33rd to 48th, $9 million. So if you are in the group stage already, you are guaranteed $9 million. And if you progress to the round of 32, another money for you. If you progress to the round of 16, another one for you. And if you get to the quarterfinals, another one for you. And if you get to the semifinals, you know what that means. And if you get to the second position, or you pick the number one, the country, you're going home with $50 million. So if you do the mathematics, the country that will lift the trophy in 2026 will definitely go home with that money. Well, time is not on our side to talk about the EFL. Hopefully, tomorrow we'll still bring up that particular fixtures as we look at the weekend edition of Rapid Sport. This is where I blow the final whistle on the show. The breakfast show still continues with Martha and Victor Aki. I am Victor Ijoma. Do have yourself a lovely morning ahead. Good morning.